Welcome, children, to continue the third part of your chapter 10 Forest and Forest People of Social Studies subject. Boys, in our previous part of the chapter, we have learned about tribal life, threat faced by tribal communities. So, now let us discuss the next part of the chapter protection of trees, forests. As trees and forests, these are helpful for us. We survive with the help of trees and forests. That's why to save them, it is our duty. Protection of trees and forests. We have to save them. Protection means save. ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤꯀꯣ. Trees, forests ꯁꯦ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯄꯁꯤ ꯗꯔꯀꯥꯔ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯥ. It is very important to prevent deforestation not only for our environment. Deforestation it is very important to prevent it. Deforestation must be stopped not only for our environment. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯀꯣꯏꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯈꯛꯇꯪ ꯅꯠꯇꯦꯀꯣ deforestation ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ stop ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕꯁꯦ ꯗꯔꯀꯥꯔ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯁꯦ. But also for the survival of tribals. Tribals, for them also, to make them settle there. It is important. The government has opened many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries for conservation of forests and wild animals. So the government of every country, and our India also, has opened many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in order to conserve of forests and wild animals. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯅꯦꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯔꯛ ꯀꯩꯕꯨꯜ ꯂꯝꯖꯥꯎꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯦꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯔꯛꯁꯦ ꯕ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯑꯦꯟꯇꯂꯔ ꯗꯤꯌꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯁꯉꯥꯏꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇꯀꯣ ꯁꯉꯥꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯥꯁꯦ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯊꯤꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯃꯐꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯁꯥꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯐꯪꯉꯤꯁꯦ. ꯃꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯋꯤ ꯅꯦꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯔꯛꯁꯦ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯍꯥꯡꯗꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯊꯝꯈꯤ. ꯋꯥꯏꯜ ꯂꯥꯏꯐ ꯁꯦꯡꯆꯨꯔꯤꯁ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ conservation of forest and wild animals ꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯂꯤꯡꯈꯠꯂꯤ. Many programs and movements have also been started to conserve the forest. In order to conserve forest, in order to save forest, many programs and movements also launched. Grandma asks, let us see. People are clearing land, forest, for urban development. Urban means city habniko. Urbanization ngasai na haikibito mamangi part of the chapter the urbanization habdi city onthokpa town onthokpa. People are clearing land, forest for urban development to build homes and roads. Is it the right way to treat the nature? Grandma asks God. Grandma na hangi. Adongang sa noisyo kaidowi mina haziki urban semnabagidamagta mayna forest mayamse kaktupido. Ado masise, is it the right way? Is it right? Is it correct way to treat the nature? Discuss. Si noy na sana sagi mot se pongdok karabani ang sa. Makam ko yung kasi protection of trees and forests ki ako na nahinakre as sacred groves, holy groves like that. In tribal culture, some patches of forests are worshipped. So in tribal culture, according to their religions tribal. Some patches of forest are there, they are worshipped. These patches are called sacred groves. So those patches which they worship, they are called sacred groves. Meaningful. Madubu sacred groves ko ko. Shengba groves. They are areas in the forest which contain trees that are on the verge of extinction. So they are the areas in the forest which contain trees that are also in the verge of extinction. Moi singshu mangkibagi mong dalariba. Felling of trees is strictly prohibited in these crops. Himachal Pradesh has the largest number of sacred groves. They are called Devbhumi deer. Himachal Pradesh. It has the largest number of these sacred groves. Himachal Pradesh teniko. Khwaidagi yamna leiba sacred groves se. Adu forest lady. They are called Devbhumi. Devbhumi hana khangne aduda ko. Similarly, they are called Devkot in Madhya Pradesh. Likewise, in Madhya Pradesh, they are called Devkot. Madhya Pradesh tana madigi mangdo Devkot haina kawi. Oran in Rajasthan and Devrai in Maharashtra. The same way Oran in Rajasthan and Devrai in Maharashtra. These are the sacred groves of forest in different states of our country. Bishnois of Rajasthan. For the Bishnois of Rajasthan, preservation of animal and plant life is a religion. So, for Bishnoi of Rajasthan, Bishnois are a group of people like that. Preservation of animal and plant life, it is a religion. Guru Jambeshwar, a great ecologist, made some principles which included a ban on killing of animals and felling of trees to protect all life forms. So Guru Jambeshwar, he is a great ecologist, made some principles which include a ban on killing. Mana kaidoki haziki killing of animals and felling of trees to protect all life forms. Adudi mana ben tauki mana thinki ko think pam ko. Habidi haziki animals ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯣ ꯍꯥꯠꯇꯣꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯀꯣꯛꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯀꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯀꯣ ꯃꯔꯝꯒ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯔꯝꯁꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯇꯨ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯇꯦꯛ ꯑꯣꯜ ꯂꯥꯏꯐ ꯐꯣꯔꯝꯁ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇꯅꯤꯀꯣ Amrita Devi, a Bishnoi woman, is a very famous conservationist. She used to cling to trees to protest against their felling. So Amrita Devi, she is a very famous conservationist. Conservation toba. Dugumba. Famous nupi masamni ko ma Bishnoi family dagi ni nupi amani ko. Sorry, not nupi masa nupi amani Bishnoi family dagi. She used to cling to trees to protest against their felling. Hajiki picture sida su yimbirao. Kaidawi mana trees se clean to pam pam de mase. Adi madu minakaktanaba annahune. Chipko movement. In early 1970s, some contractors went to cut trees in the Terai forest of Garhwal in Uttaranchal. 1970 in the year, in the early part of, first part of, I mean, early earlier of that 1970s, prior than 1970s, some contractors they went to cut trees in the Tarai forest of Garhwal. Garhwal is in Uttaranchal. 1970ꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗꯀꯣ ꯃꯃꯥꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯁꯔꯨꯛꯇ first part of 1970 means year. ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯒꯤ some contractors went to cut trees in the Terai forest of Garhwal in Uttaranchal. Contractor खरा ꯑꯃ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯦꯔꯥꯏ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯇ ꯆꯪꯉꯒ ꯒꯔꯋꯥꯜꯒꯤ ꯇꯦꯔꯥꯏ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯇ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯦ ꯇꯦꯔꯥꯏ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯁꯦ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯀꯛꯅꯅꯕ ꯒꯔꯋꯥꯜꯒꯤ ꯎꯠꯇꯔꯥꯟꯆꯜꯗ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯆꯪꯈꯤꯀꯣ. Some local women decided to prevent this deforestation. ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯣꯀꯦꯜ ꯃꯗꯨꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯈꯔꯅ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯁꯁꯦ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯀꯟꯕꯤꯅꯕ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯏꯕ. ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯗꯤꯁꯥꯏꯠ ꯇꯧꯈꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯦꯡꯒꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯇꯥꯔꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯂꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯀꯣ. They embraced the trees and were ready to give up their lives to prevent them from being cut. ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯄꯤꯛꯆꯔ page 55ꯇꯣ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯒꯤ ꯎꯠꯇꯔꯥꯟꯆꯜꯒꯤꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯑꯦꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯈꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯔꯥꯎꯟ ꯀꯣꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯒ ꯎ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯤꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯡꯗ ꯂꯦꯞꯄꯤꯑꯕꯀꯣ. ꯂꯦꯞꯄꯗꯨꯗ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯈꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯎ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯤꯗꯣ ꯀꯛꯇꯅꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯎꯁꯦ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯁꯦ. To give up their lives, ꯃꯗꯨ ꯀꯅꯥꯒꯨꯝꯕꯅ ꯀꯛꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯍꯥꯠꯇꯣꯛꯄꯤꯌꯨ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ. ꯃꯣꯏ ꯃꯁꯥꯃꯛꯀꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤꯐꯥꯎꯁꯨ ꯄꯤꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯎꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯎꯄꯥꯝꯕꯤꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯄꯥꯟꯗꯝ ꯂꯦꯞꯈꯤꯀꯣ. This movement is called Chipko movement. ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯑꯟꯗꯣꯂꯟꯁꯦ ꯆꯤꯞꯀꯣ ꯃꯨꯚꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯀꯧꯏꯀꯣ. Chipko movement, what is Chipko movement? ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 10ꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯔꯅꯤ. ꯑꯗꯨꯏꯗꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ movement. The movement gradually spread to the entire country. So, slowly and slowly what happened? This movement, which was done by these women to save trees, it spread the whole country. And she movement she lan sise tapna pura kanugi huigi Bharat ki lam khudingmakta yogi habniko. Gaura Devi, Sundarlal Bahuguna, and Chandi Prasad Bhatt are some famous leaders of this movement. So, Gaura Devi, Sundarlal Bahuguna, and Chandi Prasad Bhatt, they are famous leaders of this Chipko movement. Chipko movement ke leader niko. Hojik Gaura Devi, Sundarlal Bahuguna, and Chandi Prasad Bhatt. So let us proceed the next part of the chapter, One Mahotsav. One Mahotsav Hadi, to plant trees or plants. So this festival, it is a festival voice, which is related to plants, trees and plants, okay? To plant small plants. One Mahotsav, it is observed in our state Manipur also. It observed once in a year. Most probably it comes in the month of September like that. September, October, like that. Ban Mahotsav is a festival of tree plantation started by a noted environmentalist K.M. Munshi in 1950. Ban Mahotsav, what is Ban Mahotsav? If anybody asks you, you have to answer it. Ban Mahotsav is a festival of tree plantation which was started by a noted environmentalist His name is K.M. Munshi in the year 1950. 1950dagi haziki K.M. Munchina hariba Van Mahotsav Festival se mana haudoꯛꯄꯤꯔꯝꯃꯤ. ꯃꯗꯨ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯐꯦꯁꯇꯤꯚꯦꯜꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯐꯦꯁꯇꯤꯚꯦꯜꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯤꯅ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯟꯇꯦꯁꯟ ꯇꯧꯏ. ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯁꯦ ꯊꯥꯅꯩ. It is organized in the first week of July. Oh, so it is organized most probably in the first week of July. September, October, July starting, when that means rainfall also is sufficient here. It is organized in that between. In the first week of July, thousands of people participate in this festival and plant lakhs of trees every year. So in this Van Mahotsav, thousands of people used to take part and plant lakhs of trees every year. Habidi hazig Van Mahotsav ta mi lising na kaidawi saruk yabiraga mo su kaidawi habita plants lakh chahi kudingi thabiri ko. Besides these movements, people often protest against the felling of trees. So apart from that movements, people used to protest against the felling of trees. China wants to know so boys, you can see here area. So this part is not given, that means in your textbook. So skip it. So in that means my ebook, it has written Ria wants to know, find out from your grandparents about any one area that. So skip it. Okay. Here in your textbook, it has given China wants to know, find out from your grandparents about any one area that, or you can do it yourself. Okay. Had lots of trees when they were young and has now been cut down. So you can ask to your grandparents. If you have grandparents, boys, you can ask. What you have to ask? Any one area that had lots of trees when they were young and has now been cut down. Then another one had no trees when they were young and has lots of them now. You can ask them, okay? So let us see, read and reflect. So these points, boys. A forest is a large area of land covered with trees. Then forests play an important role in our lives. We get many useful things from them. Forests are a home to many tribal communities known as tribals, Adivasis. Tribals depend on forest products for all their needs. Deforestation is the main threat faced by the tribal communities. It is very important to protect forests not only for our environment but also for the people who live in them. Many programs and movements have been started to conserve forests. Sacred groves, Van Mahotsav and Chipko movement are some famous programs to conserve forests. So boys, you read this, okay, at least 5-6 times so that some points it will remain in your mind and it will be helpful for your study. Okay, so let us conclude here the chapter for today. Let us meet again in the next class. Thank you all.